in this video, we're going to talk about mini lessons that foster enjoyment of writing. So I cannot tell you how much this is important. Whenever you want your students to love writing, guess what? The teacher has to be excited about teaching writing. So you're going to really sell this to your kids, guys. You're going to sell it and you're going to say, oh my gosh, this is going to be the most exciting time of the day. You are going to love Writer's Workshop. Oh my gosh. You're going to want to do it all day long because it's going to be your favorite thing that you want to do. So you got to really, really sell it and you got to be excited. If you sit up there and you're just like, oh, today we're going to do writing workshop and today we're going to learn about beginning, middle, and end. Sorry, that's not going to cut it. So I'm going to share with you some mentor text in this video. I'm going to share with you some templates that I use for interactive notebooks. I'm even going to share a video of me teaching. So I'm very excited about this video. So on this first slide, you can tell that my students are learning about beginning, middle, and end. This is how I launch Writer's Workshop. So if you were in Bernie ISD last year, we all had a training about Writer's Workshop before school started. And we had a wonderful training about how to launch Writer's Workshop. So I took that information and I created my own resources for beginning, middle, and end. So what I did was I made a lot of different templates for you guys to choose from. And this is another free resource that you can look at in the Google Classroom under the resources. So whatever resource you want to best meet the needs of your kiddos, then what I did was I made this template on my anchor chart and I made it really, really big. I made 3 big boxes and underneath the boxes I drew some lines. And we read a lot of mentor texts that had a beginning, middle, and end. And then we decided to write our own story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. But you have to model what that looks like. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for you to use interactive writing with the we do part for balanced literacy. Okay, so you could start with everybody doing the same story. That's up to you. Okay, that's what I recommend that you do because then everybody knows how to do it. So in the I do part, you could, read your mentor text and talk about what's the beginning, middle, and end. In the we do part, everybody can have this template on the carpet and you can be writing a story together. Okay, you can draw the pictures together at the same time. And then for the you do part, you can set them loose into their desk. And then they can write their own sentences about their pictures. And then after you do that for a couple of days, then you can have them start their brand new story about anything they want to write about. And this is how I also start tiny moment stories. A tiny moment is a snapshot of their life. So this is a great opportunity for them to retell a specific story that happened in their life. So you can see how they're sitting at their desk and they're working on their illustrations. They're drawing and then they're coloring, they're adding backgrounds, and then later on they're going to be writing their sentences. Okay, so again, this is a free resource that I have inside of Google Classroom. These are some of the mentor texts that I use at the beginning of Writer's Workshop to launch it, for them to get hooked into writing. You want them, again, you want to sell it to them. You want to just tell them that this is the best thing of their life. This is the most sacred time of the day, and you're going to be authors. And these are some of the mentor texts that I use. The one that I really recommend that you use is Aunt Isabel tells a good one. I love reading Aunt Isabel because it tells about the different story elements that a good story needs to have. And I think I touched on that earlier in another video. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Everybody loves Harold. I mean, creativity, imagination, going in sequence from beginning, middle, and end. This is a great story to use for that, okay? And again, I have a lot of different examples here that you can use to launch Writer's Workshop. So when I do that, and I read Harold and the Purple Crayon, we talk about what can we write about, and we do the heart in the middle, and then they get their own heart to glue into their schema notebook. Now, my schema notebook is my ELA notebook that I use for interactive writing. And so I do two things. I copy the anchor chart and I give it to them the first day. And then they glue it in on the teacher side. And the notebook there has two sides. On the next day after that, I give them the heart. They glue it in on the me side. Okay? On the me side, that's their side. The teacher side is my side. So all the anchor charts, I take a picture of them, which are also in the resource, by the way, and they're already made for you. So you can just copy them. They're already shrunk down. You just copy them, and then they cut them out, and they can color it and make a border, and then glue it in on the teacher side. Okay? So anytime they have writer's block and they don't know what to write about, they go and look at their heart. And they can say, oh, I drew a dog here. I think I'm going to write about my dog. Or I drew my vacation in the mountains. I'm going to write about my vacation. So from this heart, they can then go back to this template, and then they can write their story beginning, middle, and end. Okay? So you want to do the heart first, and then you can start beginning, middle, and end. But I use a lot of Herald books because I think that's really important. It's a good example, and they're so easy to follow because it goes in sequence. This is the notebook a little bit bigger so you can see what it looks like. Okay, some other mini lessons that I do what gets a capital letter. I read Grammar Tales. If you're not familiar with Grammar Tales, it's a boxed set from Scholastic, and I love these Grammar Tales. There's one on capitalization. There's one on proofreading. They also have ones on grammar, adjectives, nouns, verbs. And so I made a vocabulary card about what makes a capital, and then we make a sentence train. The train is kind of sort of like a sentence. So I tell them that the engine is the capital. The spaces between the cars are the spaces between the words. And the caboose is the punctuation, the period, the exclamation point, and the question mark. Okay, so again, I give them the anchor chart, or you could use the vocabulary card to glue in on the teacher side of their notebook. And then the interactive part is the me side. And then anytime they need to know what a sentence is, they go back in their notebook and they look at the sentence train. Okay, so you could either do two things. You can glue in the anchor chart part, or you can glue in the vocabulary card. The vocabulary card is what I put on my pocket chart. Okay, and I have the anchor chart displayed for the whole week. Another mini lesson that I read is Watermelon Day. I love this book. I love Watermelon Day. This is perfect for tiny moments. So you take the watermelon, and that's the big topic. One day there was a watermelon in the garden, and then you slice it. The smaller topic. I went into the garden and picked a bright green juicy one. And then you pick out the seeds for the tiny moment. I cut open the watermelon and the juice ran down my face. So I tell them that a tiny moment is like a snapshot of their life. Okay? It's only a short period of time. So here's what it looks like. They glue the tiny moment in on the teacher side, and then on the other side is the me side. And so first they copy exactly, we all do it together, and we copy from the book Watermelon Day. So we actually write a tiny moment about Watermelon Day. There's a lot of great tiny moments in that story. And then after that, they can start writing their own tiny moment story because they understand that a tiny moment is one snapshot of their life. Okay? Now, when I do interactive notebooks, they're all sitting on the floor, and you're going to see that in the video. They're all sitting on the floor with their clipboard. They have their pencil. They have their template. And we're all doing it together. And then they glue it in their notebook. Okay. Here's some more examples of grammar tales that I like to read for grammar. And Ruth Heller also has great stories. And Brian Cleary, he also has great stories for grammar. So you can see there's sentence structure right here for grammar tales. There is the mystery of the missing socks and a verb for herb. I love this grammar tales. And then Ruth Heller has some books about verbs. She has books about nouns. She has books about prepositions. And then, of course, Brian Cleary. I like using Brian Cleary towards the end of the week, not at the beginning of the week, because his books are a little bit hard to follow. So they go... some of the words are a little bit over their heads. So I first read my grammar tales because the grammar tales have easier vocabulary, and then I go from there. So when I read adjectives, I read the Bug Book from Grammar Tales. Here's my vocabulary card about adjectives. I have it on my pocket chart. Here's my anchor chart. And the kids are writing their adjectives about size, shape, color, or feeling. And then I'll call them up to the anchor chart, and they will sort their words. Whatever they wrote down can be anything about an adjective, any adjective they want. And then after we do that, I give them their flower. So one day they glue in their anchor chart on the teacher side. They color it. The next day, they're doing the me side. Okay? And remember, this is part of the we do part of balanced literacy. After they glue the flower in, they raise their hand. They come to my teacher table and I check it off. This is kind of a little assessment for me to see if they got it. And then they can do independent writing. So they're working on their beginning, middle, and end story, or they're working on their tiny moment story. Okay? So that's what I do for that. Okay, so we're going to watch a video of me teaching, okay? Okay, so just bear in mind that I had one of my students record me teaching. So if it's kind of shaky, it's because he was recording and he couldn't like sit still. So hopefully you'll get a really good idea of what this looks like and sounds like. So what I'm going to do is in the video, I'm reading Rosie's Walk. Everybody knows this book. It's a perfect book for teaching prepositions. And on my anchor chart, you notice that there's a picture of Rosie, and then the kids are going to write the prepositions on their Post-it notes, okay? And then I'm going to call them up to the anchor chart to post their facts, post their notes, okay? And then while they're doing that, the kids are writing their prepositions on their interactive notebook page. Now you can see at the bottom here what it's going to look like. On the teacher side, which we had done the day before, we had already glued in our preposition poster, or an anchor chart. And then today, on this video, we were working on the interactive part on the me side, okay? So you're going to see what that looks like. All right, let's see how this works. Girls, are you ready to do some writing? Good. So today we're going to talk about prepositions. Can you say preposition? Preposition. That's a hard word, isn't it? It's tricky. Okay, well, a preposition is a word that connects a noun to the rest of the sentence. Can you read with me? A word that connects a noun to the rest of the sentence. Raise your hand if you know what kind of animal that is. Brooks.
Thank you, and a chicken?
A chicken. So we're going to read about a chicken today. And her name is Rosie. So Rosie is going to take a walk around the farm. She's going to do a lot of different things, but there's going to be a problem. She doesn't know who's behind her. Who's this?
The fox.
Okay, there's going to be a big problem. But we're going to find out what kind of prepositions that she's going to do. She might go over. She might go under. She might go through. She might go behind. A lot of different words that are prepositions. So let's see what happens to Rosie. Okay, put your hands on your lap. Pencil down. Okay, here's the farm. Here's the setting. Okay, that's where it takes place. Rosie the hen went for a walk. Across the yard. Can y'all say across?
Across.
Can y'all say across? Okay, I'm going to go over to, skip a little bit, over to the end of the book. And again, you can watch this later if you want to watch it. You are going to write one of the prepositions that you said to me during the story. So, you're going to either write, who remembers one of those words? Max?
Thank you and over.
Over is one. Cord?
Thank you and pin.
Oh, good try. Try again. Gwyneth?
Thank you and cross.
Across is one. Stevie?
Thank you and through.
Through is another one. Cheyenne?
Thank you and past.
Past. Very good. Riley?
Thank you and under.
Under. Very good. So there's your choices. Okay. Around. Just write one word. Over. Past. Through. Under. Pick one word. Thumbs up if you have your word. Boy, y'all are speedy. I love speedy children. Michael, you thinking? Write one word. Joseph, did you write it? Okay, perfect. Okay, write it kind of dark so we can see it real good, okay? Now, look at my anchor chart. It says Rosie walked, and it says blank the yard. Do you remember the word that goes here for the yard? Phoebe, do you remember that word?
Thank you and in.
Try again. What did she do with the yard? Okay.
Thank you and through.
Try again.
Thank you and across.
Across, you got it. So, you see right here? Across the yard. Look on your paper where it says, Rosie the hen went for a walk. And can you write across for me?
I accidentally put a round.
Can you erase it? Okay, put across for the first blank.
Sorry.
I wonder who wrote the word across on their Post-it note. Anybody write across? Mallory, did you write it?
Yes.
Okay, would you come up here, Mallory, and put it right here for across with your Post-it note? Okay, she's going to put her Post-it note up here on the anchor chart.
Do I write across right here?
Yeah, but you have to write it first. Okay?
I put over.
Thumbs up if you have the word. Okay, Joseph, you have to write it on the first blank. Across. In the first blank. Across. Okay, so she's going to put across. Very good. Across the yard. Perfect. Okay, does everybody have it? The first blank? Great, very good. All right, I'm going to skip on over. Everybody's posting their facts, their Post-it notes, and I'm going to call up different children to post their prepositions. And then I'm going to go to the end right here. Through the fence. You're going to write this word. Blank number 5. Check your neighbor. Make sure they have it. Check your neighbor. Yeah, you can sound it out. That's perfect. Okay, thumbs up when you're ready. Great job. Okay, one more. What's the last one?
Under.
What does she do with the beehives? Under. Did anybody write under? Chase, did you write under?
Yes.
Okay, let's write under.
What if
Can you
you
put it up here?
didn't get to put your thing?
It's okay. Under. Blank number 6.
We did it.
Okay, Chase is going to put under for us.
Where else could Rosie walk?
Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Wait just a minute.
Across?
Great job, Chase.
The haystack? No.
Okay,
Wait.
thumbs up when you're ready. Now, we're going to read it together. So put your pencil down after you're done writing.
I see it.
Okay? Put your pencil down, and we're going to read it together. So I want to see pointer fingers.
Even though you still need to write?
Okay? Ready? Rosie walked. Oh, I don't see everyone's fingers. Rosie walked across the yard, around the pond, over the haystack, past the mill, quarter fingers, through the fence, under the beehives. Now, I wonder if you can read me the last sentence on your page. Okay, Wyatt, read it for us.
Thank you. And where else could Rosie walk?
Where else could Rosie walk? Now, we're going to think, if the story were extended, making it longer, where else could she walk? Think about a farm. Think about something else on the farm that she never walked to. Where else could she go? Mallory?
Thank you. And the chicken house?
Great! In the chicken house. Perfect. Where else could she go? Stevie? Okay, she walked to the park. Might be a long walk though. Cheyenne?
Thank you. Maybe walk to the windmill.
Okay, walked over to the windmill. That's a great one. Chase?
Thank you. And walk around the dog's house.
Oh, walked around the doghouse. Perfect. What else, Cord?
Thank you. And around the horse's pen.
Oh, around the horse's pen. Very good. Max, where else?
Thank you. And around the farmer's house or around the windmill, because there's a windmill right
Right, there is a windmill, isn't there? Okay, I want you to think about where she could walk, and I want you to write me a good sentence. How many words do we need?
there. 5 or more words.
5 or more. Okay, count on your fingers. Wow, you guys are so speedy. All right, I'm going to go over to the very end where they're going to read their words. You said at the bottom, Madison? Good, she went in the chicken house. Very good. Okay, who else can tell me? Cheyenne?
Thank you. And where else could Rosie walk? To the windmill, go over the horses.
Ooh, go over to the horses. Very good. Okay, Gwyneth?
Thank you. And where else could Rosie walk? Over the barn and a look inside the barn.
Very good. Okay, hands down, boys and girls. Listen. Turn your ears on. Miss Reitman Station. Hands down. Here's what you're going to do for me today. You are going to cut this out and you're going to color it. You're going to glue it into Schema Notebook. What color is Schema Notebook?
Black.
Black. You're going to glue it in Schema Notebook with the date, and what are you going to write at the bottom?
A caption.
Very good. Okay. Wave bye-bye.
Bye bye.